Now, I don't know if LEGO July 2026 is going to bankrupt you, but there's a perfect storm brewing for a very specific subset of collectors across multiple themes. Let's find out if you'll need a second mortgage. And with that, let's face it, there are those months where LEGO drops 67 sets simultaneously and expects us all to sell a kidney and our firstborn. July is usually not that month, and that's not any different this year. Quite on the contrary. This July it feels hyper-focused, right? There are only 6 notable releases on my radar, 7 if you count the exclusive GWP which comes with the headline set. But there are some genuinely interesting things in here. We've got a Technic hypercar, we've got the first good bust, that's exciting. We've got another Imperial Shuttle, and there is our first set. So whip out your loose change, wipe those greasy Cheetos fingers, and let's talk about the Arcade Pinball Machine. Conceptually, an absolute home run of a set. This is the first official working LEGO pinball machine. Many have tried mocking up their homebrew attempts at a playable LEGO version, something that is still as popular as ever, right? Popular with older folks who are reminded of their own childhoods, and it's still popular with young kids because it's just so much fun, especially if you were a poor teenager like me who only ever could afford to play the free version that came with Windows. Maybe you remember that. And now we finally get one that does include the ingredient most mocks have been missing: an actual pinball element designed for that purpose. Now, there's an entire rabbit hole when it comes to LEGO balls. If you're interested, look into JBC's great ball contraptions. Those people are obsessed with getting enough balls for their amazing machines. There are so many elaborate contraptions people have built over the years with absolutely wild and mind-blowing mechanism. It's an entire subgenre of LEGO building. The pinball machine that we get now has a couple of new balls, and I'm sure people will try to get a hold of them immediately. And if those balls ever make their way to Pick-a-Brick online, I'm sure the first batch will sell out instantly. The machine itself is styled after Classic Space, and you get both a light azure Classic Space minifig as well as the matching Space Baby, which is obviously great for Classic Space fans and collectors of these figs in and of itself in particular. But the fact that you get a playable pinball machine, if you showed me this set a few short years ago, would have assumed it was a LEGO Ideas project that would never ever survive review. And yet, here we are. The biggest selling point is obviously the functionality, and while impressive display sets are nice, functional display sets are just better. Every time LEGO manages to create something that people actually want to touch instead of just look at, I think they're onto something. I'd like to remind you of the Game Boy. I still love picking this thing up, playing with it, and it basically does nothing, right? Now, I do realize that after a couple of hours of playing with the pinball machine, fun will run out eventually. But I still really like the way it looks. I really want to build it and learn more about that mechanism. And I think I'd still have some fun playing with it. And I really, really like these new neon green elements that were created for this set. But it's also $229.99 in dollars for an okayish piece count of 2,274. You'll get the much better deal in the EU at $209.99. On top of that being really hard to stomach, and I guess this is partly my fault for expecting too much, these decorative side panels are stickers when I really, really needed them to be printed pieces. And I'm afraid that's somewhat of a deal breaker for me. But what do you think? Are you picking this up day one? Sound off down below, and while you're there, help out the algorithm by leaving a like on this video. And sub to the channel if you haven't yet to become a true renter, as we're on our way to 2,000 subs. More info on how you can support the channel at the end of the video. But now, let's look at more LEGO. Let's look at the Imperial Lambda-Class Shuttle. Star Wars fans have been here before, right? Several times. LEGO has made so many Imperial Shuttles in various shapes and sizes and at different price points that if you really wanted one, you probably already got one or more, and you don't have to drop some serious dough on this one, because the price is absolutely atrocious. $139.99 in dollars for only 961 pieces. That's crazy expensive. And there is no redeeming quality for this in my mind. The minifigs are good, some very desirable, and the overall design does certain things very well. But not for $140. That, kids, is highway robbery. You really, really need to ask yourself, do I need another Imperial Shuttle and do I need it on release? You gotta get a discount on this. At the very least, wait for the next double points event later that month and get a good GWP to boot. The highly desirable Sea Serpent is coming soon. There are already leaked pictures of it out there. If you like that, then just, you only have to wait, I think, 7 days. I think the Insider's Days with double points that starts on July 7th. So wait a second. Otherwise, you are going to get the short end of the stick here. Again, I do think this ship in general is cool to have, and this version looks really good in certain areas. I do like the curves left and right of the cockpit. That looks good, better than previous versions, right? It's great that they managed to find so much space in there so you can put all your minifigs in it, and some of those minifigs are awesome. The first ever Dr. Pershing is cool. I like this new Moff Gideon, and I'd love to have this Imperial Shuttle pilot myself, but not for that price. The Star Wars tax is strong with this one. And if you already have a Lambda Shuttle with a more accurate vertical fin, I haven't even mentioned that stubby abomination yet, I'd probably skip this altogether. So let's move on to something more grounded. He said, and immediately skips the superlative of the supercar to jump to this new LEGO Technic hypercar. This is the Koenigsegg Sadair's Spear, and without question, this is the headline release of this wave of sets. I'd love a chance to see both the real-life version of this and the LEGO set in person. And I'm neither a car nor a Technic fan. I have talked about my only Technic set before, and while I still think that this Nissan Skyline, right, it looks great on display, the build experience, I'm still not sure about it. It's not anything at all what I want to get out of a kit, right? I don't like it. I don't mind some Technic for structural integrity on certain sets, but all Technic all of the time, that's just not my cup of tea. Now, the Technic Supercars, as we used to refer to them, LEGO now calls this one a mega car for some reason. They have reached a point where simply being large, apparently, isn't enough anymore. LEGO has built enough big, expensive cars that they need some kind of gimmick to stand out. This one, the Nissan Skyline, right, it can drift if you activate drift mode. I seem to have, no, I do remember, yeah, you put them down and then, yeah, it can drift, right? That's it, right? That's quite fun, actually. I enjoy that. And obviously, the Sadair's Spear has its own feature. It is called Ghost Mode, and when you activate it, the doors tilt skyward and both the hood and the rear section rise. And yeah, sue me, I think that's cool, I dig it. And that's not all. If you pick this one up when it releases on July 4th for an eye-watering $450, basically. $450. If you buy it on release, you get a little something to soften the blow, I guess. You get this Koenigsegg Sadair's Spear steering wheel, which I did not like the look of when it was first leaked, but it's kind of been growing on me, right? Obviously, it's not life-size and just a little trinket to plop on your desk. And I mean, for some people, that's all it ever needs to be. It does have a little trick up its sleeve though, with the level speedometer that stays horizontal as you turn the wheel, and apparently the real car does that too. So I guess that's interesting for some people, and I mean, this is exactly the kind of promotional item that ends up becoming weirdly collectible. Again, I'm not a Technic guy, so I won't be getting this at release or ever at any price really, and I'm afraid I'll have to say the same thing about this Aston Martin Aramco AMR25 F1 car. That's a mouthful. Now, Formula One continues to be absolutely everywhere as I continue to ignore it, right? But I guess LEGO knows exactly what they're doing. They must all sell well. Otherwise, we wouldn't continue to see these massive versions of cars or teams, I don't know, that weren't even teams when I last saw a race, which admittedly, that was a long time ago. Now, I'm not a big fan of this partnership in general, right? But I guess it's marginally better than teaming up with FIFA. Speaking of, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is the same car now in green with little changes to the existing design to make each one feel a little unique, especially if for some reason you're collecting all of them. Will non-F1 fans care about this? I don't know, probably not. Will F1 fans still buy it? I don't know, why are you asking me? Someone in the comments probably already answered that question. Check that out, give me your own take, and then come straight back up here because we need to talk about the uncrowned king of the Bust subline. Here's Venom. I love this set so much. I'm gonna get it as soon as I get a decent discount on it, by which I mean at least 30%, right? It retails for $49.99 with a piece count of 413 pieces, which, LEGO, look. I'd be willing to stomach that. I'd give you 50 bucks at launch if you gave me all printed pieces, but I hate this sticker on the shoulder/neck area. The chest prints are great. You know how to do it. Now do better. And while we're at it, this minifig needs leg printing. Stop being so stingy. You're making record profits year over year. This is a rounding error to you. Back to the set. As a bust, this is so close to perfect. I love the eyes. The face altogether looks great. This is what I would call suitably horrifying. I'm gonna pop it next to my Venom mask right here, and I'm sure they look great together on the shelf. The rubber hose elements for veins across the chest is a really nice touch, and while you can remove the tongue, that's probably not a feature I'll ever use, but I guess it's nice to have the option. You were so close with this one, Lego, but luckily you hit it out of the park with our last set. Just kidding, it's this bluey paper polybog kind of thing, and I couldn't care less about it. What I do care about is shouting out my 2 Patreons, Fridge and MPE25, as well as my channel member number 1, Luke Highwalker 8900. Thank you so much, guys, for literally keeping the lights on here at OnlyRants. If you would like to support the channel and get free access to all my BDP instructions, links are down below. I just released my Athena Books pop-up shop on Patreon, so if you're interested in that, check it out. We also do giveaways on the free track. It's always worth a visit. So what do you think about this lineup? Can your wallet catch a break? For a relatively small July wave, this isn't bad at all, I think. Let me know down there what you're picking up and try to endure the heat a little longer. Never forget, du bist gut genug. Welcome to my ant card. This is just a hangout. Yeah, I'm a crank that shit. Bro, that's so damn loud. It's nothing but a little intermission. Enjoy these soothing bars of utter indecision. Buddy people, you can trust me. It's an ant card. I know all those fire jokes and get you saying hard. It's an ant card. This shit ain't some voodoo, bro. I know you want to stay, but it's time for you to go.